We're going to do a little postnatal yoga sequence. So this is less about the babies and more about you. So if they're playful, there's going to be ways of playing with the babies as we do this and smiling at them and laughing with them and clicking fingers and making noises. But if they're not playful, if they fall asleep or if they want to just crawl off and play with their own toys, leave them be so you can have a go at this sequence. So starting on all fours, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to mobilize the spine with a bit of cat pose. So cat pose, arch back, releasing it, lengthen the front. And as you do this, you can be making some noisy breathing. So apart from anything else, it reassures your baby. And it helps us connect with our breath, the sound of our breath and the feeling of our breath. And from cat pose, so with this rounded back, we're going to walk our hands a little bit towards our knees and come up in a slightly funny way. So I'm going to do it a couple of times so you can watch and see. I've got a rounded spine and floppy arms. It's a bit kind of like a zombie or something. And my hands come up over my face. I'm pushing down into the tops of my feet so my front thighs are active. The hands circle around your head and then you press up. And it just feels so lovely, lovely big stretch up. And then, woof, you let the arms drop and swing, which can be very hilarious for a baby that's watching you. So let me show you that movement again a bit faster. So it's from the cat pose. You can exhale. Pull up, pushing into the tops of the feet. Inhale, stretch up. And let the arms swing. And you can give your wrists a little bit of a shake out, make some magic with your hands. And then let's try that again. We're going to do a few rounds of this until you feel it's nice and smooth. So exhale, cat pose. Pull your hips back, draw your belly in. Roll up, pressing into the tops of your feet. Circle your hands around your head and press up. Breathe in. Then relax your arms. Woo, and let them swing. Back down all fours. You can kiss the babies. Mwah. Wiggle your hips a little bit. And again, exhale, cat. Rolling up. Use the tops of your feet for support. Inhale, stretch up. And drop the arms. So last one more like that. From all fours. Exhale, cat. And you're coming all the way up on that exhalation. Inhale, stretch up. And drop the arms and roll your shoulders. Just seeing how that feels, being at ease. We're going to step 1 foot forward. Okay, bring your hands against your breastbone. So inhale, lift the breastbone towards the thumbs. Exhale, turn your hands down and slide them over your body, down over your lower belly. So I like to do it like that with a little downward pointed triangle. Inhale, scoop the hands together back up into the center of the chest. And exhale, down over your belly, over your womb. So a little chance to connect with our own bodies and all they've done. And then we're going to do that one more time, but this time you go all the way down and you can put your hands lightly on your baby, give them a little tickle and a massage, and then to the floor. If the floor seems very far away, make it closer. I've got here some books at the ready. So if you need to have a bit more support here, you can grab some books so the floor's not so far away. And you can make these piles of books as high as you need. So you can lunge forward and rock back. And the forward foot, you can have it wide or you can have it narrower. What I have found is the more narrow you have it, the more likely you are to squash your chest. So just where it's comfy, you can get a little bit of a rocking forward and back movement to mobilize your hip. Lovely. Okay, and then we're going to do a movement a little bit like what we just did on both knees. So you're going to exhale, round your spine a little bit, tuck your chin, walk your hands in towards your knees, roll up with the floppy arms, circle around your head, inhale, push up. And then exhale, release your arms and let them swing. Let's just try that again. So from hands down on the floor or on the books, you round your spine, roll up, use your back foot, pushing down into the top of your foot, circle your hands around your head, inhale, stretch up. And exhale, let the arms swing. One more like that from this position. So rounding the spine, tucking the chin, dropping the tail, belly in, breathing out, roll up, breathing in, stretch up, and then let the arms swing. Now you're going to turn a little bit to one side, so the hand that corresponds with the forward knee, that arm rests on the knee, and you're turning your chest slightly, the other arm reaches up. So if you can click your fingers, click your fingers. I'm not brilliant at clicking my fingers. I've got a little bit of a click. So I'm going to prefer to wiggle my fingers and use my mouth to make noise to get my baby's attention. And I'm going to take my arm around in a big circle. So clicking is lovely, or noises, or just breathing. If your baby's somewhere else or fast asleep, just going to inhale up and exhale down. But there's lots of ways we can make our yoga practices more interesting to our babies, so they're more likely to be interested and watch us and think of it all as a lovely game. Nice shoulder movement. We're going to do this one more time around. Put both hands back down on the floor on your books. Kiss your baby or blow them a kiss. Walk your hands towards your knee and again roll up on the exhale. So, and then inhale, stretch up. Exhale, drop the arms, let them swing and come back onto both knees. Fantastic. So other side, you're going to put your other foot forward, hands to your heart. The inhale comes up into this space under the breastbone. And with your exhale, you put your attention down in your lower belly. Inhale to the heart. And exhale deep down inside your body. A little bit of touch here, tenderness, care, healing. One more time, and then again we're going to go all the way down to the floor. Onto your little pile of books, and we're lunging forward and rocking back. Oh, I'm going to turn again and do this so my baby can see, lunging forward, rocking back. You can chat to your baby as you do this. And then walking your hands towards your grounded knee. See if you can get a little bit of rounding in your spine. And we're coming up on the exhale. Hands around your ears. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, let the arms swing. And then back down. Kiss the baby or chat to your baby. Exhale, round your spine, chin down, tail down, walk your hands in a little bit. Bring them over your face, round your ears, inhale, stretch up. And swing. Back down, tickle your baby, have a little lunge, and then coming up on the exhale and stretching up on the inhale. And let the arms swing. We'll do that one more time from this asymmetric position. And then you're turning, so the arm that corresponds with the front leg rests lightly. Turn the chest slightly up, sit arm up. Breathing, sighing, and clicking or wiggling your fingers, get baby's attention. And then we're going to go around in a big, big circle. So clicking or wiggly fingers, or just normal. Inhale up and exhale down. Nice shoulder movement and opening the side of your body. So you find a way of making it interesting to your baby, if indeed your baby is interesting. So sometimes by the time they can wriggle and roll and crawl off a little bit, they'll be very happy just to be interested in something else altogether. And then your challenge is really just to keep on bringing them back to where they started so they can't get too far away from you. One more time around. And back down, give them a little kiss. You can come onto both knees. And again, we're going to just do some very simple spinal movement. Evenly now through both sides of the body. So both hands on the floor, both knees on the floor, mobilizing the spine. Stretching out your fingers as wide as you can, or if your wrists are very uncomfortable, coming onto your knuckles instead. And we're going to tuck our toes and do what I call a little puppy dog position. So in the puppy dog, you're not trying to stretch your hamstrings. What I really like you to focus on, not yet anyway, what I really want you to focus on is, can you get both your knees to lift up off the floor at the same time? And it might be that they come up and you've got to just pop them straight back down, that's okay. So can you get your knees to lift at the same time? And once you can do that, can you think about, because you imagine you had a lovely long tail and it's going up and back behind you. So you're making a very long line in your back from your hands or your fists all the way up to your long swooshy tail that's sticking up towards the wall behind you. Keeping the knees a little bit bent for now. You can wiggle your tail. And then work on the way back down again. Can you get both knees to touch at the same time? And then we're going to come into child's pose, or adoring your child's pose. You can rest your head on your hands so that your hips sink back onto your heels, belly on your top thighs, and smiling, chatting, or even humming. Humming on your baby's tummy or on your baby's back. For a little bit of sonic massage as my baby was sitting up. And you'll soon find out if they like that or if they don't like that. I'll let you know. Okay, a couple of hums. Back up onto hands and knees, and we'll just try again the cat pose, moving into puppy dog pose. So knees bent, tail high, little wiggle of the tail. Ideally, what we're feeling is the support that we've got across the lower abdomen. So transverse abdominis, keeping the pelvis steady. So you're holding this position from the lower abdomen, gradually taking more of the weight out of your arms by supporting more from the lower belly, lowering back down, both knees touching if you can at the same time. Kiss your babies, and then child's pose, or adoring your child's pose, so head on your hands. If your child's crawled off, you can put your head on the floor. Or your forehead on your stacked fists. And then I thought we'd do something standing. So I put my baby between my feet, which means I have to have a slightly wider than hip width stance, and that's good. That's the stance that we want for this sequence. And just to say that you might also want something in front of you for when we're doing some forward bending, and ideally you don't want to be really at your edge, pushed to your limit. So I'm going to get my books that I've been using and put them like this. It could be books, it could even be the seat of a chair, you know, it could be quite high. In fact, I'm going to put a block on top of the books. So you have as much there in front of you as you need. And we can wave at the babies, roll our shoulders. And let's just sing a little song, a standing up song to get settled in our standing position. So we want to be able to let our weight shift from foot to foot and gradually sense our weight becoming evenly balanced over both feet. Maybe this song can help. Standing like a tree with my roots dug down, my branches wide and open. Come down the sun, come down the rain, come down the fruits to the heart that is open to be standing like a tree with my roots dug down, my branches wide and open. Come down the sun, come down the rain, come down the fruits to the heart that is open to be standing like a tree with my roots dug down, my branches wide and open. Come down the sun, come down the rain, come down the fruits to the heart that is open to be standing like a tree. So, from this standing position, if you've got a scarf or a muslin or something at the ready that you could hold, you can still do some sensory, playful stuff with your baby by giving them a little tickle at the end of the scarf. Ooh. And then we're going to use the scarf or the muslin for a bit of a shoulder stretch. So if you put it a little bit wider than your shoulders and tense and taut, you're going to breathe in. Stretch your arms up above your head, and as you reach your arms up, you're kind of rooting your feet down. Lower the arms, soften your knees a little bit. And with the inhale, straighten the legs, root down with your feet, reach up with your arms. And exhale, soften your knees and relax your shoulders. So you can see this could almost become, if you've got the energy for it, some squatting. Inhale, stretch up straight. Exhale, bend the knees, arms down, shoulder height. Or it can just be lifting and lowering the arms with a little bit of softness in the knees. So you're feeling into what you've got energy for. See if you can get it happening with the breath. Inhale up, exhale, sink. So we'll do one more like that. And then relax, roll your shoulders and use the scarf for a little bit of a tickly game with your baby. Okay, nice. And now let me turn around so you can see my back. We're going to put the scarf in one hand, you stretch it up, and then dangle it down your back. The other arm comes around the back of your waist, and you're walking your hands towards each other. Getting your hands as close together as you can on the scarf to get a lovely shoulder stretch. Keeping your body nice and upright as you do that, so breastbone lifted. Deep breaths. And then release. Ooh. Tickle your baby. Let them know you haven't forgotten about them. Best to do this with a scarf or a muslin, by the way, not a yoga belt. This yoga belts have got buckles and hard bits that could hurt your baby, so we're doing it with something soft. Other arm, scarf stretcher. dangle it down your back, and then the other arm comes around the back of the waist, and you're walking your hands towards each other up the scarf. Breastbone lifts. Nice deep breaths. And when you feel done, you're going to very flamboyantly release. Again, give your baby a little bit of a tickle. And we can play a peekaboo game. So in this little peekaboo game, you hide your baby all together. And we sing, where, oh, where is our little baby? Where has our baby gone? Boo! Where, oh, where is our little baby? Where has the baby gone? Boo! There they are. Now you're going to put the scarf to one side, or sometimes the babies want to keep them and play with them. And turn your toes out a little bit. And we're going to make some big circles. So you inhale, big circle with your arms, touch fingers lightly above your head. Exhale, bring the arms back around and in, and you might just rest them very lightly against your lower belly. So inhale, arms up. And exhale, arms down. Maybe at the end of the exhale, you soften your knees a little bit. So it's not a big squat at this moment, but just practicing coordinating movement and breath. Ready for a little bit of a flowing sequence. Last one. Okay, so we're going to continue, but change the movement. So now you inhale, side sweep the arms, fingers lightly touch, and exhaling, bend your knees and bring your hands down the midline into the center of the chest. And then we're going to straighten up, side sweep the arms. Inhale, exhale, hands down to the breastbone, bend the knees. So coming into a little bit of a wide leg squat, the horse pose. We're doing this with the exhalation. Straight legs, reach the arms up. Bent knees, hands in towards the breastbone. So you can either continue like this, moving dynamically with the breath. If you've got sore knees, or you're tired, or you're very recently postpartum, I would suggest staying with this. If you want a bit more challenge, you're going to exhale into that squat and stay. As you stay, see if you can wiggle your tail a little bit. See if you can make your exhalations quite fierce. Try not to tip forward too much, so stay upright. And then on an inhalation, push your arms out to the side, like you're trying to, like the walls are crushing in on you and you're pushing them away, so there's a bit of resistance. And then on an exhalation, this is going to feel really nice now, you straighten your legs, fold forwards from the hips, and rest your hands down on the floor or on your little pile of books or blocks. So you fold it forwards and you can have a little bit of a chat to your baby and move your feet if you want to, if you need to, so that's really comfortable. Forward bend, wide leg forward bend. So now from this slightly supported forward leaning position, we're going to do a little bit of a twist. So turn your right foot out about 45 degrees. And let your weight travel over more towards your left foot. You're going to leave your right hand down on your books or blocks or on the floor and bring your left arm around the back of your waist and turn to have a little look to the left. Breathe, smile, and then come back to the middle. So turn your foot facing forwards. Bring both hands back down onto your blocks or books. Say hello to your baby. And then same thing to the other side. So now you're going to turn your left foot out about 45 degrees. Swing your weight a little bit over to the right. Leave your left hand down on your books or your blocks. Right arm around the back of the waist and have a little turn to the side. Breathing, smiling. If it's more comfortable to bend that right knee, you can bend. Or if you can, you keep it straight. Back to the middle. Okay. Have both toes turned out just a little. Soften your knees. And we're going to come up to standing from here in a very particular way. So you do it with soft knees, slightly rounded spine, lower belly pulling in and back. Floppy, zombie-like arms. You exhale. Push down into your feet and roll up. Circle your hands around your head. And inhale, straighten your legs and push up. And at the end of that inhale, you swing the arms down, say hello to your baby. And swing your arms back up into that wide leg squat. Straighten the legs, swing the arms back down. Drop the backs of the hands towards the floor, soften the knees. And exhale, come up. Sweep the arms around your head, inhale, stretch up. Then bring the palms of your hands together and exhale back into the center of the chest. And let your breath settle. And let your feet position adjust. I've gone really a lot wider. I like that. If you've gone too wide, get narrower. You don't want to be too narrow, it's quite difficult. Then we're going to start again. Starting with just very simple, moving the arms, inhale, side sweep. Exhale, you can bring your hands around and rest them on your lower belly. So this doesn't have to be completely static and still. There can be a little bit of wiggling happening in the hips. And you can wiggle your fingers to keep your baby amused. Or do it all very seriously, according to what might be going on in your home. So then we move to inhale, side sweep the arms, fingers lightly touch above your head. Exhale, palms together down into the center of the chest, just a little bend in the knees. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, a little bend in the knees. And you can continue with this. Or if you want a bit more challenge, exhale, sink the hips, leave the hands at the breastbone, stay. If your knees hurt, try turning your toes out a little bit more, sinking your tail. Sometimes activating the throat really helps also to activate the pelvic floor, which is what's supporting us in part in this position. Sometimes wiggling the toes can help as well, get the arches of the feet lifting. And then on an inhalation, push out. And exhaling, tip forward. Hello, baby. There's my baby. So hands on the floor or your blocks or books. You're going to turn your right foot out. Leave your right hand on the floor. Take your left arm around your waist, or if it feels good, reach it right up towards the ceiling. So a lovely twist. Breathing. And then we're going to reverse that back down. So turn your right foot back forwards again. Bring your hands back down to the center. Blow a kiss to your baby, a smile and breathing with your baby. And to the other side. So left toes turn out a little bit. Left hand on the blocks or the book. Right arm around the back of your waist. Or if it feels good, let that right arm stretch right up towards the ceiling. Try not to hold your breath. And remember, you can bend the knee a little bit if that helps. If it feels more comfortable. You can wiggle your fingers, get your baby's attention, and then woo, coming back down. Symmetrical, wide angle forward bend. And here's where it gets very exciting. So now with soft knees, floppy arms, Exhale to come up. Inhale, stretch up. And then whoosh, you flip forward, bend your knees and swing up. Nice wide squat, and then whoosh, flip forward again. Bring the backs of the hands down onto the mat. Soften your knees, and with floppy arms, coming up. Roll your hands around your head and inhale, push up. Bring the palms of the hands together, guide them down into the center of the chest. And be at ease. Give your hips a little wiggle, wiggle your toes, wave to your baby. We'll do that sequence one more time, a little bit faster. So, circle with the arms. We'll do that 3 times. So you kind of get warmed up, get the feeling of moving with your breath. And then we're opening on the inhale, but we're going to center down on the exhale. We're just moving in the direction of little squats. So the first one might be just a tiny knee bend, and the second one might be a little bit of a deeper bend. And then the third one might be even deeper. And then you might carry on lifting and lowering like that, or you can stay. Try and keep your feet soft. Let the arches of your feet lift. Let your pelvic diamond really open, the pelvic floor, pelvic space. Keep the breastbone lifted. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep smiling. Keep the throat working. And on an inhale, press the arms out wide. And exhale, fold forward. Nice forward bend. So you're going to turn your right foot out and raise your left arm up into a lovely twist. Stay for a breath. And then coming back down to the center. So turn the right foot in, bring the hands to the middle, pause to have a little chat with your baby. And left foot out, right arm up. Breathing. Smiling. And then again back to the middle. Soften the knees. Here we go. Exhale, rolling up. Circle your arms around your ears. Inhale, push up. And exhaling, swoosh down. Inhale, bend the knees and swing through. Straighten the legs, whoosh, swoosh down. Bring the backs of the hands lightly to the floor. Soften your knees. One last time to come up. Hands circle around your ears. Inhale, push up. Palms together. Centering in, centering down. Leaving your hands joined at your breastbone. Breathing, letting the breath settle, and then when you're ready, turn the hands down and slide them in over your belly. This is actually not a bad position to be in if you want to pick your quite heavy child up off the floor. So you can get your center of gravity balanced right over them. And you can fold down from the knees and the hips, so with a squatting movement rather than a reaching forward movement, so you get as close to them as you can by bending your knees. You can reach down for your baby. If they're sitting or standing, you can just hold them under their arms. If they're a younger baby that's lying on the floor like this one, you can roll them from their back to their side, put your arm under, pushing down into the feet, stand up, something like that. So they're in a little seat hold, they're close to your center of gravity, and you can step off. So with a hold something like this, we could go to the moon. So we're going to have a trip to the moon and then do something lying down. So going to the moon, You might bring your feet and ankles together and you're just bouncing with the legs. You want a relaxed hold for your baby, like this seat hold that I'm using here, or like the tiger in the tree hold, so baby's on their tummy. And maybe something that you wouldn't normally do, which might just be holding your baby with the opposite arm to normal. Let the movement come from the lower body, from the legs, so the upper body's quite relaxed. If that feels awkward on your knees or your pelvis, have a slightly wider stance. Little mini squats bouncing up and down. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going very soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Then you have a little fly around. Fly around. See if you can land on the moon. And then you can change the hold, change position. This one's quite fun to do in a mirror, so your baby can see they're looking at. You might hold them with your other arm or choose a different hold altogether, and we'll zoom home from the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going home from the moon. Zoom, 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 we're going very soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Woo! Flying around. And then coming back. We're going to land back down to earth. So you are going to pop your baby back down the same way that you got them up. If you stand your feet wide over their crib or over their blanket. And again, we're going to get the baby as close to the floor as possible by bending the knees and the hips. So then I can fold forward from my hips and there's not too much further left to go, and I can carefully put my baby down on her side, and from there she can roll onto her back. And I can stand up and get on with something else, or I can use the same technique to come down, kneeling either side of my baby. I'll be playing with my baby on the floor.